have to also give yourself permission to fail, to learn. I gave myself permission to learn on a public figure, on a public platform. Throughout my journey of this 90-day challenge, I was learning every single day, and I failed more than succeeded because I had to learn what I was doing. I wouldn't understand why that was important. You see, that's important because it helps you evolve. I started to evolve because I gave myself permission. I gave myself grace and I gave myself understanding that I'm learning something new. I'm learning something new because yes, I got educated. I read the book. I read the class. I went into class. I went in a business course. I learned it. But for me to actually grow more, I have to act on the knowledge that I just received. I have to act on it. Because if I'm not acting on the idea is wasted. The reason why starting a business is a process because every phase that you are in, there's something new that you do not understand. There's something old that you can recognize, but there's something familiar that's going to help you recognize why this ideal is important. Starting a business is a process because as it's a process, it's a cycle. You go through the cycle of identifying who you are. You go through the cycle of identifying your business. You go through the cycle of how you're going to start this business. And not knowing that as you are starting this business is going to be a little bit more challenging. But when you give yourself grace, when you give yourself permission, when you give yourself understanding, you're able to fail and improve as you are going along your journey. But you can only grow your idea if your idea is something that is focused on every single day. The main thing that I can say that I accomplished throughout this 90-day challenge, making $100,000, was that I was very consistent. When I went to the Marine Corps training, our training was 90 days. Like our training was 3 months, and throughout the 3 months. They taught us how to be a Marine, what the history was, and we did different challenges throughout our time there. My 90-day challenge was a bit different because I was the only one pursuing this idea at the time. And it told me that just because you have an idea doesn't mean that it's going to go to waste. You have to learn what you are doing. You see, before you even get to the Marine Corps, or before you even become a Marine, and/or a sailor, and/or a soldier, and/or airman, you have to be willing to go through basic training. You have to do the basic training in order for you to learn how to be in the military. The military is a process that helps you. Hey, I have an idea. Hey, I want to be more than myself. Hey, I just want to leave my hometown. Hey, I just want to explore something new. Before you get the title, you had an idea of saying, I want to take that next step. I wanted to take the next step within my 90-day challenge to understand business at a quicker rate because I wanted to pursue it for myself. This idea not only grew more, but it taught me if you're going to have an idea, you have to be willing to be consistent every single day. Now, I can't say it was challenging to be consistent every single day because every single day I had to get up and do the same exact thing every single day, which means I can either grow this idea, improve this idea, and/or strengthen what I don't know. Terrell, how can you strengthen what you don't know? I have to be willing to continue to educate myself. I have to be willing to continue to watch courses, watch training, ask different mentors, go to different pathways. You see, the reason why your idea is always a cycle because every day you're learning something new about the business that you want to have. Your idea is a cycle because you are constantly evolving. You are constantly learning. You are constantly developing. The reason why that's so important because if your idea is just in your mind, your idea is stuck. Your idea is not growing. Your idea is not being taken care of because you're not doing the action, you're not doing the work, and you're not giving yourself grace in order for you to fail. You have to be willing to give yourself permission to say, hey, it's okay if I fail. It's okay if I don't do good. It's okay if I'm able to learn something new. You see, learning something new comes from the idea. You can't be different if you don't have an idea. You can't learn something new if you're not willing to understand that you don't have to know everything to start. You have to start with the process that you are at. You have to start with the point that you are at. You have to start with the place that you are at, because when you understand that business is a process, hold on, life is a process, hold on, every day is a process. You have to give yourself permission to say, I'm going to do my best every single day. Kobe Bryant was my favorite NBA player because I watched the interview. Well, before this interview, he became my favorite player back in 2010. But within the interview that I watched, somebody asked me, that was like, what does Mamba mentality mean? And he looked at him and he grabbed the microphone. He said, Mamba mentality is just becoming the best version of yourself. I said, oh, I got it. Every logo, every company, every business is helping others become the best version of themselves. Everyone says they're pursuing a particular goal that's bigger than themselves. They're pursuing it because they're helping others become the best version of themselves. You see, you can only become the best when you believe in yourself. You see, I believe in myself, and every day I get better. Every day I improve. Every day I just get a little bit better. I'm not trying to be extremely better. I'm not trying to be better, like more than ever. No. I want to take my time getting better. And this 90-day challenge taught me that I can improve because I gave myself grace. I gave myself permission to fail. And I was able to learn more on the journey, because the journey is so much more than the destination. The journey is so much more than what I haven't learned and what I haven't seen, because it shows that if you continue along your journey, the journey is going to not only reward you, but it's going to teach you the education that you just received and the importance behind it. Because now that you have this education and you start acting upon it, you start to see things differently. Your idea is no longer in your mind, because you have to be willing to step outside of your mind to confirm that this idea is a good idea, that this idea is a good skill to build, that this idea is something that people will like. It's something that people will like. And if you don't understand why they will like your idea, this is where you start to second guess yourself. Because throughout this challenge, I second guess myself so many different times. I'm thinking I had a path. I'm thinking I had a clear way. I'm thinking I had a direction. But I changed it so much. My idea is a cycle because I'm constantly evolving. My idea is a cycle because I'm constantly moving. My idea is constantly evolving because I'm the one that's learning more about my idea. When you have an idea, your idea is going to go through a process. You see, the reason why this is so important, because starting a business is a process. Your idea go through a process because you have to learn how to bring it to life. You have to learn how to work on it. You have to learn how to learn it. You have to learn how to improve it. You have to learn how to discover it. Yet your idea is always moving because your idea is a cycle. Your idea is a cycle and is always moving from point A to point B, from point A to point C, from point B to point D. But it's always moving. Because if your idea stops, now this is where you stop dreaming. Because it got hard. Because it got challenging. Because you wasn't expecting the challenges that came with it. Welcome to life, because life is going to throw you curveballs. Life is going to throw you a punch that you wasn't expecting. Life is going to hit you in a way that you wasn't even dreaming about. But that doesn't mean when you get knocked down, when you get knocked off, when you have to pick yourself back up, doesn't mean that you did something wrong. Doesn't mean that your idea is bad.